What's going on, YouTube family? This is a little bit different type of video than what we normally do, but I've told y'all before, homeschooling is a big part of our life, and I am gonna share, I feel like maybe I'm a veteran now. We've been doing it quite a few years, so I'm gonna share with y'all some tips and tricks and how I basically homeschool for free. Okay, so I'm gonna take y'all along with me today to a neighboring town about 30-45 minutes away, and we are going to a used curriculum sale, and I'm going to give you my tips and tricks for how you can homeschool for basically nothing. Now, there are all kinds of online curriculums that really are free, but you have to do a lot of legwork. You might be getting on there and doing a bunch of printing out, lots of links to other places on the internet. If you're on a tight budget, those are awesome, but those also are a lot of work. So I'm going to show you how I use curriculum like Saxon, like Knotgrass, like some of the really popular homeschool curriculums, Abeka, Apologia, and how I use all of those for free. So let's go today. I'm going to take y'all along. Maybe the kids will get some footage at the sale. I'm going to sell stuff and hopefully buy stuff. And then I will come back to you and give you all the info that you need to know to do this too. So stay tuned. Alright guys, I am actually back from the used book sale. We did not get any footage while we were there because when we got there, the book sale was already starting to begin. We had to get our table set up and get our books out on it. But I actually was able to sell enough items at that book sale and then go around and gather up some things I needed for next year and actually still came out with cash in hand. And here's a few tips I want to tell you about how to homeschool for free. And like I told you earlier, anyone can homeschool for free by pulling things off the internet. But if you want some of the more popular curriculum books that are a good solid choice for, they've already done the legwork on setting up the curriculum and those things, that's the books I'm talking about getting. Either way works, but I'm talking about homeschooling for free using books that a lot of other people are using. They're well researched and they're proven, I guess you would say. So here's some tips and tricks to homeschool for free. Number one is do things like I did today. Take a little time and go to a used book sale. They're all over. The place that I hear about them the most is on social media. Look on Facebook, Instagram, plug into local homeschool co-ops in your area. Even if you don't attend those, reach out to them and ask, are they having a used book sale? Because most places like that, you're welcome to come sell and take someone with you to man your table for part of the time. I took my teenagers and go around and shop and find some good deals. Second thing, don't price your stuff too low, because if you bought some of that new, you paid a lot for it. So I believe in helping people out, and there's times that I've given things away, but as a general rule, if you're going to a used book sale, you're not going to give stuff away. So price your stuff accordingly. You were not given a curriculum by the curriculum company, and so therefore, if you're going to keep making some back and reinvesting in other books, you're not going to be able to give yours away for, say, a $50 book for, say, $2 or something. You're never going to be able to do that. And if you look around at other people's tables at those sales, they're not giving them away either. Now, in your area, you have to find out what things will sell for. Around here, things sell for about 25% of the new price, sometimes 30%, but 25% is a good rule of thumb. Now, if you do what I'm telling you to do, go to these used book sales, sell and look around to buy while you're there, you're not going to have new price in those books. So hopefully what you buy them for, you're going to be able to get that exact amount back out of them. That's what I try to do. How do you do that after you've used them for several years? Well, that leads me to my next point, because I have 2 kids. So when I buy books, they usually go through 2 kids worth. That's another money saving trick. Don't buy individual books for all your different kids. buying and selling all the time. If you get a curriculum you like, hang on to that and just reuse that one. Don't let it go and then have to be going and finding it again. But how do you keep them in good condition after your kids have used them? Number one, teach your kids to respect them and tell your kids, you know, Mama had to buy these for money, so we're going to take care of them so we can resell them. Don't let them take them off all over the house and lose them or get stuff spilled on them or whatever, because that's just decreasing your value of those books. People are not going to buy as much for something that's had Kool-Aid spilled all over it. Even though the material still may be there, it doesn't look very good anymore. So teach your kids to respect them. Another thing, I scored some really good deals today on curriculum packages of what I was personally looking for, which I'll go into that later if y'all are even interested in it, what specifically I'm using. But this was a really, really good deal, and all the workbooks and everything were there, and they weren't written in. And the mom and I were having a conversation about the curriculum, and I could tell they had used it, and I mean, it was pristine. And I said, so how did y'all keep this so nice? And I mean, it looks brand new. She said, we don't write in the books. We don't write in workbooks even, because then they hold their value more for me to resell them or use them for another child. They just write on paper. So even worksheets they're writing answers on paper. Now we, in this house, usually the consumable workbooks, I have let the kids write in the past, and then I will just replace that workbook. But when you are selling something that might be a little bit older edition, what those people were telling me about today is a brilliant idea, because they don't have to worry about, is this the current edition that I can still replace the workbook for? Because sometimes when they get a couple years old and there's a new edition, you can't. So if you will just write on paper, that's another way to get your money back out of the books. One more tip I have for you on how to homeschool for free. If you go to a used book sale, like I did today, and there was a whole lot more sellers than there was buyers, don't get in the mindset that you have to sell everything before you leave that day. And if not, you're giving it away. I've been there and done that. It's like, I am not going back home with these books, or I'm not going back home with these animals if I go to an animal sale or whatever. But in all reality, the person who's looking for those just might not be at that sale, but that doesn't mean you're not going to encounter them a little bit down the road. So don't give stuff away if it's something you really need to sell to make money for your family to buy next year's books, because that's the situation everyone's in. Now, in no way am I saying be selfish and don't be generous. If the Lord says, hey, give all your stuff to this person, just say no and be stingy. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, don't get in a mindset that I've got to get this going right now. Because you know what? Last year, I missed all the used book sales. We were busy. We were preparing to get the cows, and we had just a million things going on. And fencing and all kinds of stuff. That was the last thing on my mind. And I missed them all before I knew it. So I just put them in a big Rubbermaid tote, put them up in the attic, put them out in the storage shed, put them in the garage, put them in a closet, put them somewhere, because they will still have value the next year. Okay, so let's say you leave the used book sale and you didn't sell your stuff. Now what? Now you've just got a bunch of books you may as well have gave away, right? Because you're still sitting on them, still got to do something with them. No, there's many other places to sell used books besides used curriculum sales. Number one place that I've had even more success than used curriculum sales, Facebook. There's all kinds of Facebook groups for used homeschool curriculum. Just get on there and start searching them. There's probably some in your area. I have some in my area, but then there's some that are not going to be in your area. There's some of them that are even curriculum specific. There's Abeka groups, and if you homeschool, you've heard that word before, Abeka. It's a company. There's groups specifically for that and for other types of curriculum. So just get on there, join those groups. You may have to charge a little more because you're going to be shipping those books to people, but that just requires a trip to the post office. No big deal. And then as you start to sell books, you've got some cash flow coming in. You can start looking for used books. And I would just encourage you, if you can. Now, I have had to buy stuff new before, but if possible, buy used books, because it will save you so much money, so much money. Like these books right here. Apologia. That's a very popular book for high school science, okay? I looked it up, and this book right here with this solutions and test guide was $76 new. You are going to be doing good to get $25 out of that used. But you can get that used for $25. So you see the flip side. It's not a whole lot that you're going to get out of it if you go buy new. But it's a great price if you're buying used. And then if you don't have your kids right in this has tests and things in it, someone is getting the whole curriculum when you resell it for $25, and they're going to be tickled to get it, and you're going to be tickled to sell it. I think that's all I got. I just wanted to encourage y'all because I know a lot of people have the desire to homeschool, but when they look into it and realize, hey, the local school district I'm paying taxes to, they're not giving me anything as far as curriculum. So I'm going to have to do this on my own, and it starts getting overwhelming, and you want to make good quality choices. And let's face it, kids learn differently. So you may be looking for something that other people aren't really looking for. So you might go to a used book sale and get a great deal on something because it's not in as high of a demand. Or you may be looking for the same thing everyone else is. And this book sale I went to today had a lot of tables with a lot of the same curriculums because those are the popular ones. So there may be options there where you can price check and pick the greatest deal. So I just encourage you, if you are about to homeschool, or maybe you've been doing it for years now. I told y'all I felt like I could kind of call myself a veteran now. We have homeschooled for 7 years now. We plan to continue it on out. We didn't start out that way. It wasn't the plan. We were just kind of like really skeptical about it, especially Ben was gonna see how it goes. But I feel like now we are in it for the long haul. We've seen such positive growth out of it, out of the kids and just out of our family unit. We love it. It is near and dear to our heart. And I just want to encourage y'all, there is ways to do it and not sink the financial ship, so to speak. So just start bargain shopping. Go to those book sales. Go sell things at those book sales. And just start looking around. Just start putting it out there that, hey, I am going to be homeschooling. You'll be amazed at the things that will open up to you. But I just want to encourage y'all, homeschooling's hard, y'all. There are days that are hard. And so I just want to encourage you, you're doing a good thing. It is worth it and it is valuable. And if you're like me and sometimes you think, what's my calling? What's my purpose here? But you know what? My purpose is and has been for the last 7 years, training the next generation. And I spend a lot of hours doing that. And I've had to just speak truth to the fact that that is valuable. That is a calling. That is one of the best jobs I could have in the world. And I don't sit around and think, man, I got to spend all day with these kids. I think, man, I get to spend all day with these kids. It's awesome. We couldn't be any closer because we spend all our time together and we like it that way. Now, do we have bad days? Yes, and you are gonna too. So I just want to prepare you for that. But don't quit. You can do it. It's so worth it and so valuable. And if y'all want to see more homeschooling videos, let me know. I don't want to bore y'all with them, but I love encouraging people about homeschool because to us, it is the best kept secret. So I hope this helped you out some. I will see you guys later. We love each and every one of you, and God bless.